I have a celebrity, I can't say who. He will even DM me multiple times, still doesn't follow me.
Oh, Joseph, you're the side piece.
I just found out.
If you're feeling violated because somebody is filming you and you feel like you haven't given them your consent, they don't need your consent. Once they got you, just start smiling or walk away.
Have I, in my day, pulled up an Instagram photo, some sort of aftermath from my body that gets released? Yes, absolutely.
I used to collect Sports Illustrated swimsuit issues when I was a kid. It's kind of the same thing. It doesn't have to go to where you took it.
Hey everyone, I'm Chloe Kaminskis, aka Chlomonsta, along with your hosts Jaleel White and Joseph Vecsey, and this is Everybody Lurks.
Like, how many guys really pay attention closely, let's be honest then, to what luminaries followed them and even unfollowed them when something went left? Do you pay attention to that?
I do pay attention to it, and I would
you use an
never
app or anything like that?
No. It's just something every now and then I'll notice with someone, or if, like, let's say you follow someone who you know and they don't follow you back, you notice it. But by the way, as a guy, and just for my own, ego, not to I don't want to show my cards or that I'm thinking about it, I would never bring it up to that person,
right?
Ever. I would never give them the satisfaction. But
Kendrick Perkins added another level of estrogen to this entire ordeal by admitting that I noticed when LeBron just unfollowed me, and I blocked him on my phone.
How old is he?
They just sound like he sounds like a South Park character in my brain, even admitting all of this.
He's 40. Like, you're 40. If he was like a 22-year-old guy, you'd understand it a little more. But he's 40. He didn't grow up with the social media, so the fact that he's saying this out loud and blocking a number for a guy who's not going to text you is literally
Chloe,
the
how would you
thing.
Discover that somebody is unfollowing you, though, other than just going and searching for it?
Right. I mean, there's just if you go and search for somebody and you see that you can't find their profile, something like that, then that indicates that you're blocking them. But you have to go out of your way. But there's a ton of apps.
What are the best ones, and what do they tell you about people who were following you, who've stopped following you, why they stopped following you? Like, what do these apps reveal about?
It'd be hilarious if you get
so
the why.
I personally use Followers Plus.
Followers Plus,
which helps you. It will let you know when you download the app who doesn't follow you back and users that have blocked you. And then there's also Follow Meter, which is the best one, and then Follow Cop.
Follow Cop. I like the title on that one.
A free app that helps you identify accounts that have unfollowed you on Instagram. There's Reports Plus, Followers Insight. There's so many apps.
Reports Plus?
Yeah, I use that.
Okay, why do you like that one, Scott?
I have it right here.
Oh, wow, he just whipped it right up.
Every 24 hours you get a new thing. It just tells you who's not following you back, who I don't follow back, mutual followers, new followers, and lost followers.
And do you allow notifications to come to you from that app?
No. I just
that's
refresh
that's embarrassing. That's
I'm petty. I'm not anyone's fan, dude, unless you're a celebrity. If you unfollow me, I'm gonna fucking unfollow you, bro. You know.
I have a celebrity, I can't say who I know pretty well. He will even DM me on Instagram multiple times, still doesn't follow me. And now here's what's crazy. But by the way, here's what's crazy. I've known him for years, and he will go. Think about that. He has to go out of his way to type in my name to DM me. It's not like it's easy. It would be easier if he just followed me. And he will still send me DMs. And I will say, now that I say it out loud, I think I did jokingly once say to him, oh, we really try to keep that ratio, whatever. And he was like, yeah. And then still never followed me. And I'm just I know you for, it's not even on some because he's a celebrity and okay, I get it. He's just I'm not important enough to follow. But I'm we talk way too much for you not just to hit the fucking follow button. Damn. So what does that say? That's my question. Just what does it say? Forget even the celebrity part of it.
Right.
I know you. As a guy, we should just say, or as people, we should be it's social media.
I know exactly what that says.
Who gives a fuck? It doesn't really matter. But yeah, but it is saying something.
No,
So what is it?
I think that social media, in some people's eyes, has created a social pecking order. And
totally.
And so I believe that what he's saying by communicating with you regularly in DMs, but not hitting follow.
And in life,
yeah,
too.
But not hitting follow is, I know you, but I don't, as far as the world is concerned.
Privately, I know
Is he
you.
hiding
Publicly,
me?
I don't.
It's
You're,
just-
you're
it's
like
just
a
that
little. You're like his little side.
No, it's just saying it's like you don't.
being hidden.
Well,
Joseph's like, oh.
hope you're
Maybe,
not
am I finding out I'm the side girl?
I hope you're not
This
meeting
is
this
you
guy in
finding out
person.
that you're the side.
What'd you
The
say?
side
I hope you're not
comedian.
meeting this guy in person.
We've had lunches. I mean, this is not.
Oh, you've had lunches too.
No, they like know each other.
No,
Oh,
I've
Joseph, you're the side piece.
I just found out. Let me break this down. It's not that we just DM. I've worked with him for years. We've had lunches. We text. Like, this is not. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like,
in
this is
hotel
not,
rooms?
No, you know. We filmed at hotels, but nothing like that. But yeah, maybe I'm finding out that I am the sidekick to this guy in our straight platonic relationship. But
That is
so yeah.
wild.
So now, so now, what does it say? Do you feel like it says something even different than what
I
you were
still
thinking?
says it's the same thing. You obviously don't. This is a guy who considers his follows either deeply personal on a level that you won't understand, or it's somebody that gives him clout, and you're not affording him any clout.
I'm not important enough. Yeah, just to hit a follow, but just one
I
lousy
tried to word
little
it
thing.
differently because clearly you are on some type of side piece level with this cat, and
I was finding out. Yeah.
that you're just discovering now.
No, it is very fascinating.
side
But I
piece
think
moment.
what I've learned is, like, I've seen people get worked up about that. And I've taken a page out of your book to be like, I don't really take it personal. I think, like, oddly enough, our communication is actually, like, if there was no social media,
Okay.
then there would be no reason.
Then don't
He's
take it
quick.
personal.
So I don't take it personal, but I just find it interesting.
And I'll take-
And I will admit, I've gone to his followers and who he follows, and I go, let me see this fucking list. And then I go,
Everybody lurks, baby.
And then there's
Oh,
a few
yeah.
I'll look at and I go, okay, really? But I do start to notice a pattern. Mm-hmm. And it does seem like, oh, I see. There's a certain currency here that you're saying I got to get to this. And I have a feeling, as the Everybody Lurks podcast grows, and how if one day I'm hopefully playing theaters, suddenly I might get a notification. And I'll tell you, when that day comes, let me just tell you, I will say, no matter how cool we are, if that day comes, I'm going to hit that unfollow button so fucking fast. When he
Be
follows me, that unfollow button is coming so quick. Oh, and I wish I had the guts to just screenshot it and put it out as a joke, but I don't.
I
But
wish
he's
you did.
But he's a great dude. But he is a great guy. That's the part I have to go because I've
All right,
seen.
Skylar, just make a footnote because we know Joseph's going to do some arenas soon. And when this guy hits the follow button, I want to be able to come back.
And circle back to
But we
that.
got to wait until this clown actually hits follow first.
I'm gonna check your Instagram every day.
Yeah. We got to make sure
Followers plus.
this particular famous comedian who does not follow Joseph but interacts with him quite regularly, takes him to lunch even, meets him at hotels.
And you know what?
Wow.
No, it doesn't mean me at hotels.
Applebee's.
But by the way, and paid for the lunch. Everything here is on the positive.
Oh.
But
Yeah,
maybe
you really are
never,
a side piece.
Yeah, you never pick up the tab?
Wow.
Well, I would say. No, hold on. Can I just
You-
say something? Can I?
Joseph,
Wait,
you're the side piece.
hold on a second.
100%.
Is it possible to have a male side piece friend?
Hold on a second.
100%. It's like this is
yeah.
Joseph, you've taken
We've
us down a
only-
whole other avenue in this
He
conversation.
texts him after his
You've never
special.
picked up the tab with this cat?
I think you're saying
Maybe that's why he didn't follow you.
That's funny.
Listen, I do the fake reach, but I'm just saying, it's the fake reach because I know,
let me
he's gotten to a certain level in life. So I'm like, okay, cool. Gotcha.
Okay, listen, I want to wrap this one up.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
saying,
yeah.
I'm going to wrap this one up.
But it's a good lurk.
I would encourage you not to take this guy's lack of follow personally.
No, I don't.
Know that he is putting you on a level where you don't feel like you belong,
Sure.
but you're going to get there. And I take it when somebody like that ultimately does follow me or leave a comment or speak on me publicly as I'm up right now. And that's actually just kind of like, that's a way of getting your flowers in an almost a passive aggressive way. And just take that for what it is. You'll
Yeah.
get it one day.
Yeah. No, it's all, you're right. It's this, we'll wrap this up, but like my mom, who's almost 70, is on social media and she will get like wrapped up like, how come this person didn't comment on my thing? And I always like theirs. And I feel bad for her because she gets like really wrapped up and takes it personal, but it actually informs me to go, oh yeah, I get like that. We all do. Like, don't make it more serious than it is, because the truth is it's not real life. It is saying something, but it doesn't have to really like fuck up your day and make you start questioning yourself.
I agree with you when you say it's not real life. But what I'm discovering is that a lot of people do not care to make the distinction between what is social media and what is real life. And they
Right.
start conflating the two. So
Sure.
for me, I take it as, okay, I'm not on your level in your mind. That's fine. But if circumstances were to change and you were to start contacting me more, or well, clearly this guy already takes you out for lunch, but your bankroll gets up where you do go to lunch and maybe you pick up the tab and now he is following you.
Imagine I pick up the tab and the follow comes right
And
after.
the follow comes right after.
I'm like, tuna sandwich on me, man.
Yeah, it's a curb
We
moment.
just finished Hillstones.
That is a curb moment.
Yeah, that would be great.
All right. Okay. Divorce lawyer reveals what professions have the highest rates of infidelity.
Ooh,
So coming on at number 1,
actors
which
are not going to fare well in this.
Yeah. But
No,
this is like more like
this is more
real
like-
life jobs, not our like fantasy land.
Good. Let's get back
This
to
is
real
more
life.
let's get back to real life people.
We're
So
in the
number 1 is pilots and
Pilots.
flight crew.
And flight, yeah, I was
And
about
flight
to say.
crew. Yeah.
And
Flight
don't forget the
attendants.
flight crew.
Don't leave out them flight attendants
Okay,
now.
so I got a lurk flight story.
Let her finish the list.
Okay,
So what
okay, I'm
was the
sorry, I'm
top
sorry.
five?
Okay, so
top
it's
five,
pilots
sorry.
and flight crew. Number 2, nurses and doctors.
Ooh.
Because
That makes sense.
they're going to the hospital at late hours, blah blah blah. Don't have your phone on. I'm in a surgery.
Oh,
I could see it.
It's a weird way to get hot though, after doing like
Have you seen
open
Grey's
heart
Anatomy?
surgery.
Yeah, like we have 20 years of television programming to show what
Is
this
that what they do? I've
Grey's
never,
Anatomy.
I've never watched
There's,
Grey's
and,
Anatomy
like,
once.
there's
Who
so
is
many
that?
shows.
Katherine Heigl? I don't
Okay,
know.
you haven't seen
I don't even
Grey's
know.
Anatomy in a long time. If you
Yeah.
just say Captain
I don't even know.
That's so much.
Grey's Anatomy.
Number
Okay.
3 is business owners, entrepreneurs. Since they control their own schedules, it can a lot of times create like meetings or business trips because like they're not
Okay.
really any checks and balances there. Bankers.
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 Why bankers?
They said bankers because they just deal with a lot of money in high society life situations and such, and so a lot of times like they're in situations where it's just really accessible.
Okay.
So
It's not an attractive jobs.
Okay.
Doctors, bankers.
or
doctors
bankers
are-
slash like people in finance.
Okay. People in finance.
You don't respect
Got it.
doctors? He's like, not that impressive. Just people who save
How long,
lives.
is, how long is this list?
Just one more, and last one's teachers,
Teachers.
Teachers?
which I thought was super surprising. I was like,
I mean,
teachers?
You know what?
We've seen this,
We see a lot of stories pouring out of the school system, though, about teachers and even students.
But that's
and-
what
Yeah.
you usually see. It's the
And-
teachers and students, and it's usually a married woman. The woman's like always married, and she's. Did you see that recent one
I
in
didn't see
Indiana where she was asking the kids to gangbang her with the scream mask
Oh
on?
my gosh, yes, I did see that.
And
oh my
dude,
gosh.
and it was like, but by the way,
She was
this
a
woman
teacher.
has children. She's married. It's like,
Yes,
it's so gross, and it's like, put on the scream mask. I mean, that's like borderline. Like, there's nothing like fantasy level about that. That's just disturbed and like.
Daily Mail, married teacher asked 3 underage boys to gangbang her while wearing a screen
Hey, can I
mask.
tell you something? This is
Oh,
why.
no, you cannot cut her off while she reads
Sorry,
that.
sorry. Sorry, I gotta.
Brittany Fortenberry, 31, facing a dozen charges over sick allegations made by her friend, son, and other accusers. Victims have claimed at least 10 underage boys. The new allegation came after the Indiana educator was charged with sexually assaulting a 15-year-old boy and sending explicit messages, pictures, and videos to other kids at this high
So
school.
she did this with a bunch of 15-year-old boys. Mm-hmm. And this is somehow still classified as
have to blank
With
that word, by the way.
Yeah, the
I was like, I don't know
But
if I can say that.
the guys
But-
were like, nice. No, I'm kidding.
I mean, just say that's
Well,
so disturbing because
I
I just know she gave these boys the time of their lives.
well, I
This
mean,
is
but-
her mugshot photos.
That's just a double standard in life. If this was a guy and 10, 15-year-old girls, oh man, they'd be looking at hanging from a tree. But you mean to tell me this chick did this with 10, 15-year-old boys? The high fives that went around after this Scream movie that they shot. What?
I think-
Whoa.
I think though, I guess like even if the kid, yeah, I'm sure like those boys were like obviously, but they did. I think there is something in the story. If you read it though, there was something of her drugging someone.
Yeah,
the
there,
boy-
there
the
was.
boy-
There's definitely some sinister things that are going on, and she even like manipulated them. Said like, oh, if you don't do this, I might kill myself. So I do think this goes past a level of like. Yeah, they might have been
listen.
intrigued by the idea, but I think this is going to fuck these kids up for life. I don't think they're going to live a normal sexual life after this. So I think that's where it becomes maybe not the time of their life in this
Yeah, I mean,
particular circumstance.
the boy told Detective Williams that that she would always make him food and would buy him anything he wanted, including vapes, weed, THC carts, according to his affidavit. So
Still waiting to hear the
That's
abuse.
coerced.
Well, yeah, I mean,
I'm still waiting. I'm sorry.
Brittany would peer pressure them if they didn't want to take the shrooms. Jaleel's like, yeah.
I think it gets to it. Well, again, we don't.
Chicken
I don't-
Mrs. Claus, man. She's freaking just. Jeez.
I mean, this is. I don't
Oh
know.
man. But back to the original list. Number 1 being pilots and flight crew. You had a
Okay,
dark
and I
story
gotta
about
carefully
that.
dance around this story because I don't want what I'm always paranoid of people putting it together. But I will say it was fascinating, and this is again speaks to our whole show, the lurking and how people communicate through social media. It's a new way.
Yeah.
Because now there's all these little things that say things that you never had before. Indicators. So I was on a flight, and again, I'm going to be a little vague about certain details, but I was on a flight. But long story short, this flight attendant follows me on Instagram, and I didn't give her my Instagram handle, but somehow she was able to find my name. And
Well, of course, because your name is on the manifest.
again,
Like
we're
your
being-
seat number.
Again,
Your
we're
seat
being,
number.
yeah. I'm just, yeah. we-
correlation.
So, there was, she followed me, and we had actually spoken on the flight about our significant others. So this was a very, innocent conversation, and, she seemed very innocent herself. And she was about 23, maybe 24. I thought nothing of it.
Didn't she say she just got married or something?
I think just engaged or something like that, or something like that. And she
So
seemed very
she
sweet.
was letting you know you had a chance.
But see, I'm talking about how much I love my girlfriend, so I'm not thinking,
Okay.
this is very,
Yeah.
out of my mind, not thinking about it. But when I get the follow, I was like, oh, that's interesting. But then I thought, oh, well, we had, a nice conversation, and then I see her page.
How did you see the follow, though?
I saw the notification. I saw a
You get your notifications.
Well, I think, or I click on the button
Yeah,
where you see it.
Where when you
I don't get
you
so
refresh
many-
Instagram,
I'm not-
it's like, oh, so and so followed you. You
Okay,
can see at the
gotcha.
top.
I just happened
Yeah.
to see it,
Gotcha.
and then I don't know what made me click on it. I think I just was like, oh, that's maybe her name. I don't know. I really was still in a naive place. I would be honest if I wasn't. And especially when I saw the page, I was like, oh, yeah, there she is with her, obviously her person. So I'm not thinking anything of it. So oh, yeah, follow her back. I'm really still naive.
Done.
Then later in the day, I notice I get a like on my page. And now the like is not with me and my girlfriend photo. It's all the way back to a thing that's just me in a picture on my
dive.
own.
Ooh, deep
And I go,
dive.
Deep dive.
now I go, oh, that's saying something. That's being very deliberate and specific.
That's
I was
intentional.
like, holy shit. And then it dawned on me, and I was like, wow.
I spoke to
And
her for 10 minutes too long.
yeah, I was like,
Mm-hmm.
we're now. I see it. We're in the same city. We're not in. This is the perfect. She knows I have something to lose. She has something so now it's this perfect
Mutually assured
diabolical plan because
destruction.
it can work. No one's gonna know. No one's gonna dime the other person out. And I realize all these things, and then I quickly took myself out of the situation. Obviously, did not communicate with her, but I was so blown
So
away.
you blocked this woman.
Did I block her? I didn't even think to block her. Should I have blocked her? Yeah, I don't know. Should I have blocked her?
I feel like you should have.
Awkward pause.
Well, okay, if you're.
I just
'cause
well,
feel like
dawned
you're
on me. I was
so-
like, was I supposed to?
I feel like you would. I feel like you should have. I feel like I should have blocked her.
Really? Oh wow. I guess I didn't want to be that like.
Did you
that's-
restrict her at least?
I didn't even know.
Did
I
you
didn't even know how
remove
to
her
do
as a
that.
follower?
Yeah. What? Oh. I
Did you
didn't
unfollow
even-
her?
I had just unfollowed. Yeah.
Okay, if you were gonna,
Joseph,
because if
listen,
you're
this is-
kind,
this
But I didn't
this
even
is a-
know to do what you're supposed to do. I didn't even.
This is
know.
a podcast of truth.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll be very honest.
I think she was trying to get something squirrely going on the side.
absolutely.
I definitely believe that, especially if she did the deep dive and liked a photo that went way far back.
yes. 100%.
But I also think
Like, before-
you might have
before-
enjoyed the attention just
I-
a little bit, which is okay to admit.
No, I would totally admit it,
flattering.
but I think you understand. I was still naive the whole time up until the like. So then once I realized it, I was like, oh shit. I even remember calling my girlfriend and telling her the whole story because I was sort of
wow.
fascinated by it.
Okay, well,
So then I just
that sexes it up a bit.
Yeah, I told. Oh yeah, I mean we get spicy in our relationship. That even might be a story we might use at some point. I don't know. That's not even it's.
Let's call the bitch up and ask her out for a meal
I mean,
and see what her
listen,
intentions were.
You know, listen, if we had a couple drinks in her, who knows?
Table for 3.
Yeah, hey, or table for 4. Hey, let's swing. But
Who's the
I
4th?
don't. Yeah,
Upside down pineapple.
Oh, her, yeah, I forgot she had.
She had the fiance.
But yes,
The fiancé.
I will say I wasn't. There was nothing about it that I necessarily enjoyed, other than it's maybe after the fact you go, oh yeah, flattering, I guess. But I was just more perplexed and shocked by the gull of trying to set that up.
Interesting.
But that's all it was. But I didn't even think, honestly, to block her, because I felt like that would be so, like, confrontational and making it seem so, like, more extreme than the situation
Again,
was.
no indictment, no judgment. Did you follow her back?
No, I initially followed her back in the beginning before she liked the picture.
Okay, so that's already taken place.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you discover she's following
You did the friend follow back, and
Yes.
then her action of going down was so intentional. Before
That's when I realized this was not
when you
in.
realized,
That's when I said,
because that's how girls shoot their shot. I feel like is that they're like they go to like an old
I
photo.
didn't think following someone back when we talked about our
Or liking their
significant
story.
others was gonna. I thought it was innocent.
What I love that doesn't bother your girl, though. I love that none of this bothers your girl.
I gotta say, with that kind of stuff, I mean, I think one, I wouldn't have felt comfortable probably not telling her that story, because just in case something ever came up, or who knows, digital footprints or whatever. So that was one reason. But yeah, those kind of stories were very open with each other and does not even faze her at all.
There
Not
are
at
partners that are that are overly consumed with this type of social media minutia. And I just find very consistently none of those people are successful individuals in real life. They just they just have too much time on their hands. So that's why I said I'm really happier about the whole story that it doesn't bother.
Oh, not
your
even
chick
close. Yeah,
on
because we're
any
very.
level.
I think the
'Cause
more
then it makes it funny. Then it makes it is what it is. And again, it's making the separation of real life and social media. If you want the two to meet, table for 3. That can happen. But
yes, 100%.
But we
No,
don't
she
do
was
that.
like, it was funny when I told the story. She was like, "Oh," it was like, "Oh wow," and then she's like, "What?" She really reacted it like
I
a real
like it,
person,
alright.
and it was like just more of like a comical story because we have the trust.
I
So.
love it. What's the next one? What we got?
Actually, I did want to ask a little question based off of this. Okay, so we just went over how a girl would go and shoot her shot. How would a guy go about shooting his shot on Instagram?
Oh, I used to shoot my shot great back in the day. I'm retired though.
Retired?
I'm retired. I'm retired from shooting shots.
You're saying
It's
the difference of
Yeah, the
how
difference.
a
Is it
guy
the
shoots a shot
same?
versus a girl.
The way I used to shoot my shot was funny. You? How would you shoot?
What? What? I'm confused. What am
So
I?
on Instagram, okay, for example, like if I'm going to go shoot my shot on Instagram and I see some guy or I meet him and I'm like, oh, da da da. Also, I'm very good at finding said person's Instagram, which
course.
I actually have a little Equinox moment. This one time I was at Equinox and I was yapping with this guy or whatever. He tells me his first name, he tells me where he works, and I'm like, okay, that is so much more information than I could ever even need. On the treadmill, I'm walking. I'm like finding this man. I go to his LinkedIn. I find out how much he makes every year. I find his Facebook. I find his Instagram, blah, blah, blah. Like, found out every single thing about him.
Oh, this is me being.
That's you. That's you, baby.
You do those sounds pretty good.
That's the mouse.
That's a little. Then I hit that follow. I get a follow back. Instantly to show that I'm interested. The minute he posts a story, boom, I'm there in the story likes. That's how I shot my shot with that.
Just being in the story and liking it.
Just liking the story.
Yeah,
That
says a
showed
lot.
me that one 10 years ago. That's
What'd
great.
you say?
So if you just try to send somebody a message, it goes to a separate place than if you like their stories or respond to one of their stories.
Yeah.
If you respond to one of their stories, there's a greater likelihood that they will actually see it. Whereas, like, I have a DM graveyard that I almost never even go in. I clean it out like a closet in a guest room, to be quite honest, every now and then.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my gosh, I didn't even know this person was following me, and I really do discover.
Right.
Discover. But for people that don't have a DM graveyard, it's hitting them on your stories, hitting somebody on their stories is almost guaranteed to show up in a way that they will see.
I will say pre-blue check mark for me, life was a little boring on Instagram. That blue check mark changed my fucking life.
Changed your life?
Oh, it changed my life.
Okay.
It was crazy. In the
was a fast pass
everything
like
worked
Disneyland.
out perfectly the way.
Fast pass.
Yes, it was a fast pass. Like, I kind of wish I had a little more time to enjoy the blue check mark. I didn't know it was gonna be that life changing, but I was definitely using it to my advantage. I was taking shots, DMing, and I gotta say,
what would you send as a DM though? What's your initial?
Dependent for each person, but I guess what was one? I mean, man, I DM'd. It depended on what I wanted out of it. So if I really wanted the person's attention or liked them, as I did with my girlfriend, where I'm like, okay, this is like someone, I can see from the pictures and like personality and everything. I liked, and she didn't follow me obviously, so I liked 3 photos and then followed her.
Wait, but what were the themes of the 3 photos? Was there like a theme, or was it just kind of like?
No, I liked 2 that were one that she was an animal person, so I liked like 2 that she did with like an animal charity, and one with her dog, just kind of showed that I was interested in her. And then I did a 3rd one.
And you're an animal guy.
And I'm a huge animal guy.
Huge animal
guy.
How many? 40 animals you've adopted?
Yeah, well, I'll say that in a second. But then the 3rd picture I liked was a sexy pic. So to let her also know that this is not some friendship shit. I wanted her to know that, it was clear.
That we can have sex in company of animals and pets that we own.
Hey, now we're into bestiality, but yes,
that escalated quickly. Well,
and then 2 days later, she followed me back. But that was like, that's how I did it. But then other times before that, I remember just shooting a DM to a girl where I was just like, hey, I wish I could go back and say it, but it was kind of simple. Like, I would love to take you to dinner sometime or something like that.
Okay.
And I remember a couple I would get back. I mean, a couple real good ones would be like, yeah, definitely. And I was just like, oh shit, this blue check mark is unbelievable. Because I know without the blue check mark, she doesn't see it.
You'd be in the
it's
graveyard.
not going to happen. She's not going to be as interested. Wait, who is this guy? What's his page? So the blue check mark, shout out to Netflix, helped my social life.
Okay.
Well, now you can buy the blue check mark.
Yeah, that ruins
which is crazy.
it. That fucks it up. I'm glad I got in before that.
Yeah.
I got in before that.
Yeah, well, you were going to get it no matter what, so.
I got in before that.
Yeah, you were.
Before.
You are the blue check mark.
Come on.
You're verified.
Yeah, knock it off.
Jaleel, by the way, follows me if anyone wonders. It would be great. Imagine they find out.
It's just Jaleel all along. They were like, yeah, we go to lunch, we have a podcast together.
It's not Jaleel.
I'm a cheap follower.
When you followed me back, it was like euphoric. I was like, oh my God, he actually followed me back. I was like,
that's
wow.
why what's fascinating about you, someone who started show business at 3 years old, which is fascinating, that you've never let the bullshit sort of dictate real life for you. Because in your head, you'd probably be like, yeah, if I know this fucking person and I like them, yeah, I'll follow them. Like, what? It wouldn't even occur to you to be like, let me play some game of, you're not quite on. You wouldn't even want to think that hard about it. You wouldn't want to slow down your day for that thought.
You know what it is? In order to be creatively good at what we do, I think you have to stay connected to how people are evolving.
Yeah.
So if you get to a point where you start seeing yourself as being above everybody,
yeah,
then really you're isolating yourself. And that's one of the laws of power, is that isolation is dangerous. Bingo. And you're not as funny. Like, I noticed that just with a lot of comics, they become less funny the richer they get.
Well,
they were funnier when they were poor.
Dude, you start wearing shades. That's the anti-comedy. Unless you're Andrew Dice Clay.
Exactly.
That's your shtick.
That's just, yeah.
You can't, there's nothing funny about a guy on stage with shades and a diamond necklace. That's not funny.
I'll tell you one
Unless
thing.
That's your shit.
Without having eye contact with your audience, without being able to see how your eyes dance in certain, the delivery of certain jokes and material, there's a disconnect there. It's clear typically it's probably going to be a guy. You're more interested in appearing cool or appearing a certain way than you are with connecting with the audience. And when it comes to comedy, you have to connect with that damn audience. You got to connect with them freaking fast. So I've never wanted to lose that connection. And if I ever have a desire to lose that connection, I'll really just be in the mood to disappear.
Right. No, it makes perfect sense.
Okay.
Did I get dark?
No, that's not dark at all.
Okay,
No,
I was just checking.
That's not that's not dark at all. But
to talk about disappearing, I was like, because I do want to make enough money that I can disappear one day.
Well, I assume I'll be invited to the island.
No, there's certain celebrities that I know that I don't even like call them celebrities. It's disrespectful. They just have so much money that they can be gone for like months at a time and not responding to people's text messages, emails, anything. And then when they resurface, hey, I'm back. You want to go grab dinner? Sure. And people are hitting them back in 30 seconds.
That's why,
because they're just on that level. Like, okay, just keeping it real. This is kind of taking us to a different. Like, are there certain luminaries that you know, public figures, celebrities, call them what you want, that are big enough that they can completely blow off all your text messages, completely blow off all your emails, but when they hit you, you're hitting them back in 60 seconds?
I will say, if it's not a business opportunity, I would say for me, if they were really blowing off my, like if you're just talking about like one text message and hear from them or whatever, okay. But if I was like, if we had like an actual friendship and we were talking, they just blows it off completely and then comes back and it's not a business opportunity, for me, I would say I wouldn't engage in it. But if it's a business opportunity, I would feel, then I would just do it because it's business.
You're speculating. For me, I've kind of just trained myself to realize that everybody has a preferred mode of communication.
Yeah.
So like there's some people I know that I talk to regularly, but they will hit me in the DMs way faster than they will hit me on text. And it's like, oh, that's your preferred. You like communicating after a funny meme or story or reacting. And we might have a quick chop up, how the kids, what's going on. I'm out of town next week. Let's link up. And it'll go down real quick like that. Then there's another person who may never, ever text me back, leaves my shit on red constantly. But if I FaceTime that guy, absolutely takes my freaking FaceTime.
but then that's not them blowing you off completely.
Exactly. No, so that's what I was saying.
Though,
so that's what I'm saying. I've taught myself to try to search for that person's preferred method of communication.
It's like their love language.
And their preferred method of communication, and only be beholden to that and not take, text time response too personally. Because sometimes I'm telling you, if you take text time response too personally, you can detonate some beautiful relationships because you just got your feels too soon.
No, 100%. But I think one thing that has changed, especially in the last few years for me, is text response. I think we're getting bombarded with so much information. Everyone's able to communicate and reach us any time of the day that now, even for me, it sometimes might take me a little bit to text back someone. And now I really don't ever take that personal because we're overwhelmed.
Yeah.
It's not even about, before it might have been like years ago, I think it was a little bit different, but now I got 8 people sending me videos a day, texting, call. It's too much. And the phone's always got to be near us. So I think now text back response should be like, I chalk it up to more like, maybe you just wanted to chill for a bit.
Perhaps. Where we at, Chloe?
Oh, yeah. Okay. Do we want to go? So there's this hilarious video on Instagram that's going kind of viral right now. And basically, it's this guy, and he's going up to this girl. And, I mean, I'll show you the video. But she's saying that her legal rights are being,
Oh, play this.
Here.
Not gonna go anywhere.
Oh no, it's already live. It was a live stream.
Oh, that's fine. Since we didn't give our consent, Massachusetts is a double consent state. We are more than welcome to sue. But thank you so much for not taking our consent.
What are you yapping about?
Wait, and who is he though? Who's the guy?
He's just a streamer.
Oh, he's just streaming
He's going
anything.
and he's streaming on a public street, and she's saying, you don't have my consent, you can't do this, it's illegal, blah, blah, blah. And it's hilarious. The comments are hilarious because people are like,
is consent the right word?
Well, she's Delulu.
Yeah, she's Delulu because we looked it up. When I say we, I mean me. And actually because he's in he's in public and she's in a public place, she's completely allowed to be in the video.
So if you're in public, anyone can video anything, no matter what?
Yes, I think the world needs to understand that the paparazzi effect that we have all been enamored with or made fun of celebrities' reactions to, of, oh my gosh, or why, if you knew what you were signing up for, you knew you were signing up to be famous. So, why are you making such a big deal about them taking your picture? Guess what? The train has left the station. Now we are all subject to paparazzi. And that was an unfamous person essentially being paparazzi. Mm-hmm. And she really wasn't being paparazzi. She made herself a main character in his video. Yeah. She came from the background into the foreground talking about consent with this sidewalk legalese that she knows nothing about. And she actually made herself a target because I would suspect that a person like that behaving that way made herself a young Karen, and now she's going to get trolled.
Oh, and she did.
So do we? Oh, here we go. But
She got
there we go.
trolled.
There we go. And she stepped out of the background and into the light to have this happen to her.
And what did people say?
People said, okay, how do people not understand the public filming laws after all these years of having videos all over social media addressing this? You do not have a right to privacy in a public setting, outside of bathrooms, etc. It's that simple. Zero awareness from these people. Clown face emoji.
Now, if you were like...
She's cooked.
So if you were going to, though... But that's just for online, right? But if you're like filming a movie on the street,
Well,
then
you're
it's
filming a
different,
movie
right?
that's different because now you're selling that for commerce. So you need everybody's releases.
Right.
But just capturing people's images in the form of news.
But what if you make money off of a video online? Does that count?
This is where I would love to dive deeper into the legalese.
So-
If he puts that in a documentary now, and he
Sure.
sells that documentary, I think he's going to have to deal with her. But that's not the issue that I'm talking about. The issue that I wanted to shine a light on is if you're feeling violated because somebody is filming you and you feel like you haven't given them your consent, they don't need your consent to
Right.
film you.
Yeah.
The best thing you can do is politely relocate. That's it. Like all 5 of those girls, there was like 4 or 5 of them. They were all wearing Celtic stuff, I think, or whatever. All of them should have like just picked up their little burger bags and just moved to another stoop. And that's
Yeah, and what also do you think like triggered, like why is she so upset? Like what is even the reason? Just because...
again, a sense of controlling her environment is what I gather. She just seems like the type of person who likes to feel like she's in complete control of her environment.
Is it like-
which is a falsehood?
Is it like when I'm on like I was on the beach the other day and technically you're not supposed to have your dog. I got a little chihuahua and I'm walking her and some older guy
There you
approaches
go.
and he says, "Did you see the sign?"
Yeah.
And I'm like, no one's bothering you. She's not taking a shit on your sandcastle. Can you like why are you bothering me? And there's always those kind of people and I feel like that's what you tapped into. That's that person. Like, did you see the sign? Like, get the fuck out.
The
of my
dog
face.
guy was her uncle.
Yeah. Yeah, so that is really like just fascinating that people get fucking pissed off at shit like that.
But I like to help people learn that, so
Yeah.
that they can have a little more empathy when they do see famous faces that have not called the paparazzi on themselves. That is like,
And-
the game is up. Anybody points a camera at you at this point, just start behaving the way you would like to see yourself on that film, because the camera's rolling.
And
It's already, you know what I'm saying? Like, once they got you, just start smiling or walk away. Like, it's more important, I guess, how you want to see yourself in the film. Because when somebody puts a camera to you, the person who's viewing that image, that video, does not know how your privacy or your personal space was intruded upon. Did you get? So there's never going to be any empathy for that. It's like if I'm in it having a dinner for 2, I could be making up with my wife after a terrible argument or something like that, right? And I'm holding her hand or whatever, and we're talking softly, and somebody starts filming me, and I catch them. If I start going off on that guy, everything about me and my wife and me trying to apologize in that moment, they never saw it.
Right.
So I can't even
Just
expect them
completely
to
taken out of
care
context.
that it was an intimate moment was intruded upon.
Yeah.
So that's just kind of like just trying to give people some game out there. If you see somebody filming you, either smile and wave and stay put and go back to your business, or dip, just relocate politely. I think that's the best thing you can do in a lot of cases too, especially if you see like some YouTubers or something like that, whatever, like on an aisle, you turn down the aisle in a Target and it's like, oh, they doing it down here. Just turn around. Turn around. Go over to aisle 6. Aisle 7, they're shooting. They're shooting.
I saw people wearing Trump masks in the Palisades Village, and they were all filming, and I watched the security monitor them, and those guys knew where exactly they were allowed to stand and go.
Ooh.
And there was like a whole thing. They were like, well, we can be on this sidewalk. Now we can't go by, there was something like they knew they couldn't necessarily go by the stores and film in front of the store. I don't know what the rules were there, whatever, but they knew exactly what they could do and can't do. And the security was kind of following them and watching them. Obviously some residents were getting pissed off, and these guys were just filming a bunch of content.
When we're getting into it with people in public and it's going left, a lot of times our emotions are completely void of the actual legal circumstances that are taking place in moment to moment.
Yeah.
You know, there reaches a point where you're defending yourself, and then there reaches a point where legally you're now attacking the person. Like it's all happening moment to moment, real fast.
Yeah, absolutely.
Where we next? Where we at, Chloe?
All right. Okay. So kind of going off of that, there was a video.
Oh yeah, this is where this is technically legal, but here I think it goes too far.
I will give you a total pardon for murdering that woman. Kiss the ring, Alec.
Ooh.
We love the children. We're doing great deals for the children. Okay.
Now, I have a lot to say. Can I go first?
Please.
And
Yeah,
then-
by all
Okay.
means.
So here's where I would say one, it goes too far.
That's
so,
different from the girl.
Okay,
Very
so
different.
so this comedian, he's going outside this guy's house. He's loading into his car. I mean, obviously something could also happen. You know, you're in the street, whatever. It's not the most safe thing anyway. But it's also like this kind of tasteless, you know, joke, and you're joking about this poor woman who lost her life on a set. You know, the whole thing is kind of tasteless and not that funny to me. Obviously, he's just trying to get a rise out of Alec Baldwin. Now, let me just say, obviously not a thing I would do. Now, Alec Baldwin, let's face it, known asshole, temper for years. I love that he, who, by the way, I'm not going to go digging into this, but is responsible for, you know, partially responsible for something that happened on set. And then his way of diffusing a situation is to threaten some guy they'll fucking snap his neck. Yeah, that'll make me look like I didn't do it. But Alec, I do it. Yeah, it's kind of like karma in that situation a little bit for him. But I do think he went too far by intruding on his whole life.
I don't think when Alex engages in social kung fu, he's really thinking about how anybody is looking at him.
Right.
I think he just simply expressed, "Hey man, I just want you to feel me, man to man. If these cameras weren't rolling, I'm gonna fuck you up right now."
Yeah.
It was not that deep.
Yeah. No, he's just pissed. He gets pissed. He has a temper. Yeah.
For me, because I like I said, I'm a different person. I would be more upset with myself that I gave that guy usable footage to proliferate his agenda. As somebody who is public, I'm a public figure, whether I like it or not on any given day. I would have preferred hit him with some good joke, something fun that's funny to say, and then just get in my car and be like, "Hey man, please just don't touch me."
Well, it's probably
if you touch me, that's a different issue.
Yeah,
but if you know you're not touching me, man, this is a pretty good impression that you're doing. But you need to work on this accent, or et cetera, and get my car and drive off. And then that's not gonna go viral.
Right.
You know 100%. What I'm saying?
Now we can always edit this out. But has Alec Baldwin been is he still allowed, do you think, or has been accepted back into the Hollywood circle? I noticed he has a reality show.
What is Hollywood anymore?
Well, I mean,
I'm on a Denzel tip with that. I'm like, what is a Hollywood actor?
Well, you know what I mean.
What is
Has he been? Would you say will he get other jobs? Do you think, obviously he already has a reality show, but has he been accepted into the circle, the normal circle that you kind of see?
To me, the circle is there is a tier of individuals that are grossly compensated because as studios estimate that their value to a project is global. Is he in that category anymore? I don't know. I'll say the last thing that he's done is a reality show, and so that says where his value is probably currently right now.
Right.
But is he going to be cast in a Marvel project soon? No. That's like the pinnacle of pay. That's the pinnacle of the quote unquote A-list thing. And above that is another level. Is Scorsese and those guys, it wouldn't even touch it. You know? So is he in that category? No. I don't know if he would be in that category though, even if it wasn't for the incident.
Well, yeah, well, I guess but you could still be in the, but I don't mean necessarily, I guess, getting parts and what his value is as an actor anymore. I just mean allowed in the circle, because he did not come out looking good after that incident.
No, I mean, that incident is terrible. I don't even want to talk about it because I don't know enough details about it to be on
record saying it
on whose side. But I just know for him, he's a known bad boy. Yeah. And at this point in the game, you know, I think it's just about. I think you're seeing an older guy that's had a tougher time adapting to the social media's intrusions and just internet intrusion upon his life.
Yeah.
With the reality show, he's actually leaning into it.
Yeah,
And
sure.
saying, okay, if this is how y'all gonna do me.
Wait, can you pull up his what? Did you see his wife tell him?
Oh,
shut
his
up?
wife cooked him.
Oh man,
His wife, I saw that. His wife.
Yeah,
cooked.
this is. I mean,
His wife cooked.
the
him.
wife. I mean, that's fascinating in itself.
What did she say?
His wife cooked him. So when I see even the dynamic with his wife, I'm like, okay, there's more to Alec than we know. And that's why I'm always respectful when it comes to any of these public figures out here, because I'm like, there's more to you I don't know. I'm like,
By the way,
maybe
look
he
at
not-
Alec Baldwin's face. Can you pull up that first picture though? There's nothing about him that says that is a good person. Look at that face. Look at that face. There is. I don't even judge people on physically, but there is not. You can't even debate that. There is nothing in that man's heart that looks like, yeah, that guy seems like a decent guy. He seems like he'd be fun to have a dinner conversation with.
If you don't have a mugshot, that's
My
close enough.
goodness.
Did you-
Fucking hell.
Did you hear about, like, going back to his wife, about how his wife has been faking a Spanish accent and she's just straight up from Boston?
What is wrong with people?
Wait. There's this video.
Can we hear both acccents?
yes.
I think that it
She's
only
been
matters if
faking
I
it
get
for
to-
years?
I just want to
Yes.
hear both accents.
The entire time. There's a video of her cooking and she goes,
Let's get to it with this. I want to
yeah.
hear the Boston and I want to hear the Spanish. Because if it's a good Spanish accent, roll with it, bitch. Roll with it. Roll with it. Rebrand yourself.
Okay, wait, here we go. So,
I was a kid. Don't look it up online because you'll learn something different. But I learned this from when I was a kid. He learns it.
Okay, I made it before. Hold on, can you please explain what your...
this is the part.
And then I don't know what that one is, but I can tell you that my tortilla is potatoes. You have to not cut them too tiny because.
And this is
they're not
real?
going to have the right
This isn't
texture.
fucked with?
And then
This is real.
my husband hates cebolla.
Okay.
My husband hates
Okay, you know what?
cebolla.
No. I think I know what she's doing. That's why I was studying it intently. I think there's a condition where when you're around, I think I might even have a little bit of this condition. There's a condition that when you're around people who speak in an accent,
You start speaking like that?
You subconsciously try to take on their accent to further ingratiate yourself. We have to find out what that condition is. It's a medical
I've
condition.
had that at times too. I've had that too, but
And
I don't
that's
think
because she wasn't doing anything consistent when he said something and that registered with a heavy accent from where he's from, his Spanish. The guy
But
had
you
a
said
Spanish
you have
accent.
that condition.
I think yeah. But
So if
I
you're
actually
around
do.
Randall Park, you'll start talking.
No,
Asian?
I've done it. I've done it in Italy and like and like Spain when I've been with my wife, and she's like, "Stop doing that." She's like, "What?" It was like I can't speak Italian and I can't speak Spanish, but somehow I'll just slip into sounding like them in English.
Yeah.
Linguistic convergence, or the chameleon effect, where they subconsciously mimic the speech patterns of those around them to build rapport and empathy.
That's what she was doing.
You know what?
It was the chameleon effect.
You know what my weird condition is though? If I watch someone I like during the day, I will start sometimes talking like them with their like mannerisms. Like if I watch Mace, I'll start kind of mimicking Mace and using like his like kind of even body language because I like the way he carries himself or talks. And there are people like that. You're right.
I want us to talk. What's our next topic? I want you to field it like Mace.
I wish I. You know what? Though, can I tell you something? I actually have a good knack. If I see someone or I'm around them, I can do not sound like them, like a Jay Farrow, but I could do their.
Jay is phenomenal.
They're like, what do you call it? Just their rhythm and cadence, but not their sound.
Okay.
I'm pretty good at that if I could do it, but I'll try. But I feel like I have to see Mace right before.
I love that I was able to see that, and I'm
That
guilty
is
of it
fascinating.
myself.
So you think
The
that's what
chameleon
she
effect.
was
I
doing?
think that's why. If you go back and you look at the video closely, it was like you see she's going in and out of it, and it gets heavier every time right after he speaks.
Well, the funny thing is, though, is that she's just straight up from Boston. She's not like, she wasn't raised by Spanish people. She like has claimed that she's from Spain. Her parents moved to Mallorca in 2011 to like corroborate her accent. But she was just straight up born in Boston. Both her parents are white and she didn't grow up speaking Spanish.
I know. It sounds so exotic.
And then she's like, ¿cómo se dice cebolla? Onion? Wait, girl, how did you forget
throughout this, Alec Baldwin has been has got so much bad press. I'm amazed, even though she's not the daughter of him, she's the daughter of Stephen Baldwin. I'm amazed at Hailey Bieber's branding. you don't even associate her with the Baldwins.
Yeah, because the last name is Bieber.
No, well, I know, but I'm just saying. But she is the daughter of Stephen Baldwin. I'm just saying. But yeah, but you don't even like.
Bruh.
It doesn't even register that she's
Last
even
name
related to them.
is Bieber.
Yes.
End of discussion.
End of discussion. No, but you wouldn't even think she's related to that family because you ever see her in interviews, she sounds very sweet, very nice. Like there's nothing that relates her even to. You would even think she's related to Alec.
The Level Up.
Yes. I wonder if she even talks to members of her family. I wouldn't be surprised if she does not even communicate.
They might have to
like,
go through
Alec,
this-
you were not on my level and shouldn't be.
They might have to go through an assistant at this point.
Oh, they should. Oh, they definitely should. But the Baldwin's reality show. Who the fuck is watching that?
Yeah, everyone needs a reality show these days.
All right, what's next?
I'm sure it's entertaining. I'll tell you that.
I wonder.
There's a question that actually one of my friends asked me, and I wanted to ask you guys. And what does it mean when my friends are asking me why some of their photos have more saves than others?
Oh, that's simple. That's real simple.
What are we saving?
Bikini photos,
Oh,
or friends
yeah.
with photos of friends, photos at the
We know.
because
I could just speak to that, but yeah, I mean that's a word that has a few more syllables than you would like, but I believe I'll say it in a very scientific way.
Ain't rocket science.
Men are if they're saving an Instagram. Now I'm gonna tell you, I'll be honest. I have no problem, as Jaleel knows, being very honest.
Oh my gosh.
I have never saved a girl's Instagram photo. Matter of fact, I didn't know that was possible. So I didn't know that. But have I, in my day, pulled up an Instagram photo and mixed it in with something else I'm watching and then allowed my mind to go there and, next thing you know, there's some sort of aftermath from my body that gets released? Yes, absolutely. I just want to say that in the cleanest way possible. But
that was so clean.
That is what I would assume most men are doing. I didn't know you could do that feature. I think that's a little much, and I would even argue that's a little just like, all right, man, you could just pull it up on your own. You don't need to save it on your phone. It's a little extreme. But, whatever you got to do to get your shit off.
Jaleel's face has been priceless.
I used to collect Sports Illustrated swimsuit issues when I was a kid.
Me too.
I think it's kind of the same thing. It doesn't have to go to where you took it.
Dude, I can remember. Dude, Tyra Banks swimsuit issue. When I saw that, I was in 5th grade. I remember me and my friend both taking it in the. No, a lot. This is gonna sound bad, but we're in the 5th grade and we hid and brought it to the bathroom and both looked at it. We're in 5th grade, so we don't even know how to jerk off yet. So we were just staring at the
figuring
photos.
it out.
We were just looking at it. I just remember looking at
Tyra Banks really
Tyra
helped.
Banks' swimsuit issue and
Never
not even.
took a Sports Illustrated into a bathroom with another guy.
I did. We were in 5th grade. Nothing happened. But I'm just saying, we were staring at Tyra Banks and not even just understanding what we were
That was
looking
an
at.
amazing cover.
Oh, was that? I still remember that. I was in love.
Calm down.
I'm sorry, but I was in love with Tyra Banks as a kid.
Yeah, that was an amazing cover, though. That was an amazing cover.
And then I met her in person, and I was like,
I don't know, saved. I mean, first of all, look, I save a lot of stuff on Instagram, actually. Wow, that cover,
Yes.
that cover's incredible.
oh, you pulled it up.
Yeah.
Can I just say something?
She was
This-
in her prime.
That was life changing.
She was
I
in her-
couldn't even understand her. I'm gonna say her and Carmen Electra, like just as women. I was like,
I will say this, and I hope I don't get myself in trouble for saying this though, but that is the Sports Illustrated swimsuit issue, and nothing else. They have completely destroyed the institution that thing is with this whole body inclusion nonsense. Hey man, everybody should feel good about themselves when they're in a bathroom in front of a mirror, however they choose. But if you want me to buy a damn magazine, walking through an airport trying to make my flight, or I'm actually paying for gas and I'm grabbing some Twizzlers and oh, there's a magazine there. If you expect me to add that to my bill, it needs to look like that.
yeah.
It does.
Yeah, no, I mean that's fair. You see that cover right there, the FHM, that one.
Oh, that's famous.
Can I
too.
tell you something?
That's famous too.
Bro, I remember where, like, how
Carmen
weird is it?
Goddess.
I didn't even. It's not even someone I've ever met, and I can remember where I was when I sneakily bought that magazine at a gas station. That's how crazy that had an impact on me as a child.
To me, I consider these magazine covers the equivalent of a LeBron James or a Tom Brady on the cover of a male magazine. It's like, I admire those guys. I watch them in their respective sports, but there's nothing inside of me as a guy that says I'm less because I'm not that.
Right.
Yeah, that's
And
good.
somehow, by putting women who look like this on a magazine that is supposed to celebrate what this is, makes another woman feel like, well, you're making me feel bad because I don't look like that. What? Like, that's the point of the magazine, man.
Well,
this is the creme de la creme. It comes out once a year. We flip the pages for about a month. We pass it along. It dies in a medical office. We do it again next year. What does that have to do with the way you feel about yourself, looking at yourself in the mirror?
When I see Lex Steele's 11 inches of punishment that he's advertising, which is the size of his dick, I don't think less of myself. I go, hey, on a good day, yeah, maybe pushing 7, a little warmer, 7.5. I don't get worried about seeing another dude's dick. And the same thing you're saying, when you see that, you should be like, hey, this is how she was born. Hats off. It doesn't make me any less.
It's like I know him, but I don't know him.
I'm just saying, I don't feel any less. I'm the equivalent.
I just don't understand somehow how some of my takes inspired you to go to Lex Steele.
I'm just saying.
It always comes back to Lex Steele.
When I see porn stars, in their size, it doesn't demean me. I just go, oh, hey, congratulations.
Okay,
that's what I'm saying. And Carmen Electra shouldn't make a woman feel bad. By the way, the magazine is obviously targeted at guys. It's not to make women feel bad. This is clearly for guys. But this brings us into an interesting thing.
Yes.
And here I'll ask you the question first. Speaking in 2025, in this, not 20 years ago, right now, who is a worse influence and puts more pressure on women to look a certain way? Women or men?
Ooh.
100% women. 100% women.
That was a bar.
Yeah, that was a good
100%. And the way that women have... and men and also companies and stuff like that, they see that. They know that women influence women so... Like, that is their main driver. Like, when I get ready to go out and stuff like that, I'm not really doing it to, like, for a guy. I'm like, what are the other girls going to think about my outfit? They're going to... Because a guy's never going to be like, oh, her shoes don't match her bag. It's going to be the girl that's like, her shoes don't match her bag. And then I'm like, oh, snap. And it's like... And companies know that.
I learned that a while ago, and I'm happy I did, that women dress for other women.
Yeah,
they're rarely doing anything for us. So,
if a girl,
it's just as true.
And if a guy's into you, your hair could be messed up. This could be it's not gonna be the deal breaker,
right?
You know what I mean? There's no thing where guys gonna be like,
so that's
your
funny.
lips don't look this way, or they're like, no, if they're attracted to you, they're attracted to you.
Right. So that's funny. So that's the phenomenon that actually explains why all the backlash over the covers, because again, it's like she's making me feel a certain way.
Right. And because there is
That's
such
strange.
an
That's
ingrained competition. Because you see LeBron, you're like, legend.
Yeah, like he doesn't, I can speak for every guy in here. No great sports hero makes me feel any kind of way about myself.
Right.
But I guess just the gender difference between us, you're saying like, okay.
Well, yeah.
Just standing next to your husband in line and you're at checkout and you have to see that image.
Yeah.
And you look one way and she looks another way and your husband is standing here pretending like he doesn't want to look at that.
Yeah.
Makes a woman go, bitch, you made me feel bad about myself.
Right. I mean, like
that is wild.
Oh
my God, I'm so happy I get to be a father. Be like, baby, please don't feel this way.
No. I mean, like, even women now, like, I remember, like, I was watching the Wicked movie that Ariana Grande's in, and, like, she's under, like, a lot of speculation because she looks, like, really thin.
Well, as long as it's not a health issue, then I guess, I don't. Here's my thing, and hopefully she's not like going through something health wise, and that's why. But like when I hear women say, "Oh, I got to be skinnier, I got to be this," I go, "Look, in my whole life, I have never talked to a male friend of mine and them said like, oh, I want the girl who looks really anorexic or the girl who looks really skinny." It's never happened. Nope. In fact, it's the opposite. It's curves. Look at the girls who have been very famous in these past years that get a lot of attention, like Nicki Minaj, Kim Kardashian. People like Men
No.
like curves. So this whole point when I hear girls go, I'm not skinny enough, I'm skinny, I'm like, I don't know what guys you've been talking to, but there's no guy I talk to that would take the skinny girl off of the girl who has the curves. There's no, so I don't know where it's become this thing. And by the way, if you're skinny, great, that's fine. I'm just saying there's this weird thing that is if men are putting that on women to be skinnier, when all the guys I know, and me included, I've never been like, oh, fuck, I wish that girl was skinnier. I'm like, oh, she's got like, if I use the word thick as a compliment. Some girls
2
don't like it.
Cs.
You know, thick thighs, curves, butt, all that stuff. So it's like,
That's an interesting this is an interesting conversation though to put forth, because the reality of it is that when it comes to body image, women have far more influence over each other than men have ever had over them.
Yeah. I mean, even you were saying like Kim Kardashian, like I feel like the Kardashians are under so much scrutiny right now for like allegedly using the weight loss drugs like Ozempic and stuff like that. And now it's kind of like pushing, you know, this kind of heroin chic narrative back onto people where like there was such a body positivity. And now people are like, you know, oh, it was all body positivity until you could take a shot. And then now you're skinny. And now it's like.
the Kardashians are the best example of the worst influence on women. I'm not even knocking them as a business, but themselves, I've never met a guy, nor have I ever said this to a girl, oh, you should have lip filler, you should get Botox, you should do, like, I don't even know where all this came from. Guess where it came from mainly? The Kardashians.
Yeah.
They're on the internet doing all these surgeries, all this stuff influencing women. I've never thought to a girl in my life ever to say like, oh, you should get, your lips aren't big. And I didn't even know that was possible. All this stuff is coming from women. So I would argue, hey, if the Kardashians, look, they can do what they want to do. They're brilliant at business, whatever. That's what makes them happy, fine. But I don't think you could put it on men. I think you got to say the Kardashians and all these OnlyFans models who are all getting the surgeries, that's influencing women far worse than a man. And take the worst man being some douche like, oh, you know, catcalling or saying something derogatory. Take that worst man that's just an idiot on the street in New York who's working construction and now put it to the Kardashian level of influence. Who's having more of the influence on the woman?
Yeah, I mean 100%.
Well,
The latter.
Kim's underwear line is really, really high quality stuff though.
I would wear.
Skims.
Really soft stuff.
By the way, I'd still have sex with any of the Kardashians, just for that record, if I was single and I was allowed. I'm just putting that out there that I'm also...
Would Sarah give you a hall pass?
I think she would. She might ask to join. I don't know. I think...
You've got a spunky relationship, man.
I
Nice,
think,
dude.
I think,
gotta
no,
unpack
I'm
your
not saying she
relationship.
would, but I think she would give me a pass. But I want to say, because I always label myself as the most unbiased person you'll ever meet. I can see both sides, because there'll be some men who will like say bad shit about the
Well, that's the writer in
Kardashians.
you. That's the writer.
I'm like, so I just want to fully admit
Right.
that everything I said, I would not say to her face, and I would say, and I would compliment them. I'd say you've been a great influence on women, and I would love to have sex with you. I would be very honest. So I just want to say,
I said what I needed to say. That underwear is bomb, dog. You can send me that for Christmas Eve.
listen, if they want to sponsor us, hey, you know, I'm still with it. I will completely retract everything I said if I saw them.
That is the NBA collaboration I never saw coming, man.
What?
The
Skims?
Skims
and the
NBA.
Are men
NBA.
wearing Skims?
Oh my god, it's the most comfortable stuff ever.
But wait, do they make male stuff?
I'm wearing Skims right now.
I have
Are
a
you
pair.
serious?
I have
I'm
a
wearing
get it
pair.
sent
Skims
to you?
right now.
Wait, what is
and their
it?
marketing was
I didn't even know what it was.
fantastic.
I'm telling you.
Wait, but let me see. What is it? I don't even know what it is. I thought it was underwear.
I'm such an
It is.
I'm
Look-
such an
look at this,
appreciator
look at
of
this,
quality.
look at this.
I couldn't even.
It's
hate.
underwear?
Yeah.
Listen, when you wear underwear that makes your
Skims. NBA Skims.
It's what does it feel like?
when you
Feels
wear
like your balls are floating?
when you wear underwear that makes your wife compliment you the second you get out of the shower, you buy
Really?
more of it.
So does it add to your like make you feel like you're packing more?
I think it's just like comfortable.
It would make
as
you
hell.
feel that way. For
Okay.
me, it's just really
Hey,
comfortable.
I'll take it. Like I said, I need the temperature at a certain height to get that extra inch. But that's okay. So it's good underwear. How much is each pair?
Like $54 each.
Oh damn, Jaleel.
Oh, no,
Somebody's
no.
doing.
Sorry.
Somebody's killing it.
That was a pack. That was a pack. I lied.
Hey man, someone's.
$24.
I'm drinking Mountain Valley. You got the Skims. You outclassed me with the underwear.
$24 for a boxer brief.
We've established that.
All right,
You can get a pack.
I'm
though.
gonna buy one. Bam, $54. Where do you even buy them?
No,
I'm curious though. if you-
18.
I would. I'm
18.
curious.
How do
Yeah,
you go to
I saw
54
the.
to
I saw
18?
the. There was a pack. There was like a 5-pack or whatever.
If you buy
Like $24 for
Can
one.
you zoom in on that dude's package? No, I'm kidding.
you
My
should
search
buy-
history's
I'm
cooked.
curious. Just buy a pair and then don't say anything.
Yeah.
And just Put it on after you get out the shower.
Oh, well,
see if your lady says anything.
Yeah, my girlfriend's gonna fucking recognize that in 1 second because she's gonna.
But you
clock.
can't say anything.
You're saying don't say anything, and you think she will notice or won't notice?
I'm just curious what she'll say.
If she's
Just shut the hell up about it. Don't be Larry David about it. Just buy the stuff.
all right.
Take the shower. Put the shit on.
She might think I'm cheating because she's gonna be like, "What the fuck are you doing wearing Skims? Who the hell bought you that?" She's not even gonna believe. And you know what I'll say? I'll say Jaleel bought it from me.
I'll give you that. I probably did.
Yeah, it's a black-owned podcast. If it's for the podcast, it's a write-off. I'm gonna send the receipt. Do we have one last topic before we get out of here?
I think you do.
You know you're getting Skims for Christmas now. It's not even
from you. Oh my goodness, that would be nice. What is? I don't know how we're transitioning.
What's the next?
I can't. By the way, I have bad eyesight. What does that say?
I'm so proud of my eyesight at my age.
What does that say?
All
I
of this
genuinely
looks
can't see
really
it.
clear to me.
Oh, is that what I think it is? The syllable word?
Man.
Oh yeah. Well, here's the thing, because it's kind of a transition.
Okay.
Because I've always been perplexed why, if everybody does something, why in convo I can't be like, "Hey, Skylar, good talking to you. I'm gonna go jerk it," and just end it with like, why I can't do that if everyone does it. And we did look up, Jaleel. We did our research. All the benefits of what the art of masturbation can do for you. Can you please list them? Can you list them?
Stress reduction. Masturbation releases endorphins, hormones that promote relaxation and reduce stress. Improved sleep. Orgasms release oxytocin, a hormone that induces feelings of calm and sleepiness. Enhanced mood. Reduced pain. Shall I go on? Strengthened pelvic floor
if
muscles.
it does all these positive things for you and mental health, and I'm a health nut, no pun intended, and why can't I just be like, hey, now maybe with a girl it's a little disrespectful, but whatever. If I'm with my guy friends, I'm like, all right, man, I gotta go. I'm just gonna go, get off one, release one, just to clear my head for the night. Why is that not acceptable in conversation? Even if you if you're in class, if you're in college, hey, professor, can I just go jerk it in the bathroom real quick? I'll study better. I'll learn better. I'll pay attention better because I'm in a better mood. Why is that not a part of society norm if everyone does it and it's not illegal? As long as you're not doing it in public.
Joseph.
It's a genuine...
You know damn well why it's not acceptable.
I don't know. I don't know.
I agree with Joe. You can go eat when you're hungry. Why can't you go in the bathroom and wank one out?
When your nuts are full.
All right.
Yeah.
If I have to go use the restroom and I have to excuse myself from a table and there's people that are eating.
Well, that's,
I don't disclose whether I'm going to go do number 1 or number 2. Does anybody do that?
But that's at a dinner. Dinner aside.
Does anybody do that? We're just talking. He's talking about what is appropriate to discuss and where. And we also know that America as a country is far too sexually repressed to ever turn masturbation into common conversation, where it's like every other punchline is a bro joke of like, oh, I'm about to go jack off, I'm about to go jack off, I'm about to jack off. I don't know. You're obsessed with this. You love this button in your axe and everything. And I'm just like, dude,
that's not even.
Just show me an audience that is.
I thought you were gonna say show me something.
Pause.
You start with the show me.
No, I said show me an audience. Show me an audience that would respond to this favorably. The way you always want to inject it.
No, this was actually a genuine
question.
question.
I have no problems with at all. The act is fantastic.
No, it's just a genuine question. I wouldn't say it at a dinner table because you're right, that's rude. People are eating. Although I did fucking have an egg salad explosion at someone's house the other day, and I had to excuse myself to the point where I was like actually turning a different color, and I said, "Hey, I gotta go do something in your bathroom. Forgive me." And then I told them it was from bad egg salad from a supermarket. But
so much detail.
Yeah, no, there's a lot. But again, I'm just saying in a classroom setting in college, or just hanging out with your friends, or we're having coffee, or hey, we're playing basketball. Hey man, I got to go do something. Just why can't that be a part of the normal vernacular? If we're being honest.
I don't even want to shake your hand after you keep talking about masturbation too much.
I say sometimes I'm able to do it with no hands.
You get dapped up like that.
But sometimes I can do it with no hands. Holler at your boy. And I don't want to dive into that.
Pause. I ain't hollering at you, man. You have an obsession with
I don't know if it's an obsession. I just have a curiosity for why we can't just all be honest with each other. That's all. I just want to be honest.
That's just private. Some things are private.
Some things are private. That's fair. And hey, that's fair. Everyone's different.
Private.
But Doesn't have to always be offensive, I guess is what I'm saying. You don't have to share it, but if I just want to be like, hey man,
Dude, I know a comedian who lost his entire momentum. I know a comedian that lost his entire career momentum because of masturbation.
Yeah, but he was doing that.
That
probably
ain't telling you something.
But he was doing it in front of people. That's different.
You want to talk about it in front of people?
No. By the way, in an office setting, it's a little bit different. I'm not saying, hey, at your job, you know.
So you're saying like in your friend
friendly,
interactions.
not at a professional
Nah,
setting.
pause, man. Nah. You from New York, dog. You know what's up, dog. You ain't getting that off on the court or with any group of dudes. You know damn well you ain't sitting around no stupid. Some dude can just get off.
Wait, can I just before we go,
himself.
can I test the theory out? Like if I'm just like, all right, Jaleel, I'm gonna catch you later. Let me just go. But I haven't even said it yet.
For the rest of the pod.
I haven't even said it yet.
Getting these faux knuckles. That's it.
I just told you sometimes I have an ability not to use my hands, so you don't have to worry about that.
I think that's where we're gonna end it. All right. Thank you so much.
He always makes it weird at the end of every podcast.
I don't make it weird.
Great discussions. Tyra Banks and and
well,
whether or not you have consent, or when someone's filming you in public, and then we ended with this guy trying to shake my hand and within 10 minutes of him having maybe done something earlier.
No, I would let you know because I'd be honest. So I haven't.
Oh my gosh. Well, thank you so much for tuning in to Everybody Lurks. If you enjoyed it, subscribe, leave a review, and follow us on all social media platforms at Everybody Lurks.
And all this talk of Tyra Banks, might have to go home and do something.
At the end of every episode, this guy's going to make it weird. That's what I can promise you.
Follow us on Instagram if you want to be weirded out further. Or TikTok, X, YouTube. And we'll see you guys later.